Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is our weekly council meeting number 42. Amazing. We're like middle aged now, guys. We're getting old. We gotta spice things up. This is the time when we spice things up so we don't get into like middle age crisis. Anyway, all jokes aside, it's really fun seeing all you guys. We have a lot of fresh faces who haven't been to the weekly council meeting yet, but of course we've seen them around the community. As by tradition, we will have our newest people to the call, give us a chance to get to know them a bit, a little quick intro, things like, who are you, where you're from, what's your passion, what's your one growth area that you're working on this year, and maybe what you're looking to give and take from the community. Once everyone that's new is done with that kind of intro, then we kind of go into the weekly war part of the weekly council meeting, which basically just involves us learning a bit about how we've succeeded this week, things we wish we could have done better, and how we can be helpful for each other. So with that all said, Cass was one of the first few people to join in terms of our new additions to our weekly council meeting. So we're gonna pick on you for a second. Cass, go ahead.
Okay, give me 1 second because I'm trying to find all of my accomplishments.
You can do accomplishments after. For now, just an intro. Just do a quick intro. Yeah.
Okay, I'm Cass. I am in the mountains of North America, and I'm basically just coming on here I'm in school. I'm a cis major in business analytics, and probably going to hurt myself with economics and my business core classes for the next couple of years. I might die. So,
What's your passion?
What?
What's your passion?
Oh, photography, programming, cinematography, reptiles. I'm pretty fluid in anything that just seems interesting or anything that can increase knowledge and increase innovation. So
awesome. So I guess what are you looking to grow in this year? Like, what's one growth area that you define for yourself?
Like as far as skill wise, or like
anything you want to share.
Philosophical here, or
philosophical works. I mean, if you want to go philosophical with us.
No, I'm trying to find a balance between passion and my career, I guess. I'm trying to decide if I want them to be the same thing or if I do really want them to be separate or interlacing in between things.
Makes sense. I think a lot of us can identify with that and I think this can be a big topic in this meeting. Cool. What are you looking to give and take from the community?
Chill times and sharing information and helping each other just achieve exactly what we want to do. If we have an intention, let's get it done.
Awesome. Okay, yeah. Cool. Thank you so much for your intro then. And then we'll circle back to you later for the weekly war part of it. And we'll learn about your week, your accomplishments and all that. Awesome. Thank you so much. Maybe Flo can go next.
All right. I'm Flo, as some of you might know. From Austria. It's I'm based right now where I grew up in the Austrian countryside, but I moved to the capital, actually, Vienna, for studying purposes. And I'm actually in Vienna for 7 years, but due to the pandemic situation, there's not much going on in the city, and I can be easygoing in the countryside, even though the internet is worse, right? As you know. I'm just trying to circle back on the questions.
You can see the questions in the chat. I just pasted them there for you.
Yeah, great. Okay. My passion is definitely music and sport, likewise. So like passions, it's like my main areas of growth also that I determined. Obviously the My education is something I cannot deny. It's kind of quite important also in my country to have just some certificate of some sort. So it's another area of growth. But passion-wise, I definitely would like to work on music as a pianist and on health, just getting more sporty that I already used to be. Now I had a few setbacks before I joined the community here, so I got fresh motivation. That's also what I like to give and take from the community. I like to get involved. I really enjoy this set of people that I already got to know here. Like-minded, likable people, as far as I can tell.
May change.
Yeah, I mean, we always have to pay attention, right? That it stays such an awesome place. But I'm happy to be just another pillar of the community, maybe. And I would like to use Notion as well. Now, finally, I told you, Conrad, about my flavor of the month kind of attitude before when I chose just one system after another and never was happy in the end. And now with this adaptable setup, I'm quite confident that I will stick to this. And I'm also a happy student of the Level Up course, which gives me lots of tools to use in the future.
Awesome. Well, welcome, Flo. It's a pleasure to have you here in this meeting. And as you mentioned, we also love having you, meeting you in our other calls that we have in the daily accountability calls, or not daily accountability, but just the co-working random calls that we have. So it's awesome to have you join this meeting. Awesome. Deo, have you been to weekly council meeting before? Just want to double check.
Oh.
You haven't, so your turn.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Dale, and I'm currently in Canada, but I'm from Nigeria, and I'm in my last year of uni, studying psych. What's my passion? Well, I love writing. I love learning new languages and new cultures. And also I love product design. So I'm really passionate about all that it encompasses and most of the things involved in it in terms of creating accessibility for people who need it and also in healthcare. And what's one growth area? Writing. I'm looking forward to growing in my writing skills and also writing. And what am I looking forward to give and take? I think what I'm looking forward to give in terms of positivity and yeah. Oh, sorry.
It's fine. Go ahead.
Okay. What am I looking for to give? I would say maybe positivity and knowledge, and I think in both areas, like yeah, that's one thing I'm looking forward to. So yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And also, want to highlight something. I'll also be highlighting this in the newsletter tomorrow, but Deo is part of an awesome new team inside our community. It's called Etherealism. Maybe she'll talk about it in her wins this week, and I won't steal her thunder. But basically, they're an awesome focus group that's working on tackling sustainability in the world. And they just recently released this awesome Zine. It's a Notion magazine that's based on tackling fast fashion. And yeah, I'll have her talk about that later in the week's wins, because if that's not a win, I don't know what is. But basically, she just launched out on Friday, and we're very proud of her. So good stuff.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So I think everybody else has been here before, so we're going to launch into the weekly war part of the meeting. For everybody who's about to go, do feel free to introduce yourself quickly as well, maybe just like half a minute if you want to, just to help the newcomers know who you are, a bit more about you. But anyway, Dale, you have the privilege to pick a friendly face out of the bunch and say, I choose you, so you can go next.
I choose Rebecca.
I was afraid.
She was staring right into the camera. She was like,
It's like when you don't want to be chosen by the teacher. Yeah, short introduction from me. I'm Rebecca. I'm from Germany. And what I am really passionate about is to educate people that they don't need to follow the norms, that they can make more of their lives than what society expects, and help them achieve the goals that they eventually set for themselves when they realize that they can do more. And yeah, this is what I'm passionate about and what I'm constantly working on achieving somehow. Okay. Let me take a look at the agenda. Something I succeeded in this week is I survived the company that I was working for. I was let go, but I'm so happy that I am gone now, that I don't have to deal with them anymore, because like they were since month, maybe half a year. I have only worked for them for 1 year, and after 6 months or so, they started gaslighting me, like with all the stuff, and it was making me crazy. I was constantly talking to my boyfriend, like, am I going crazy? Am I really doing those things wrong? And what's happening? And so I got really like mentally sick from that, and I'm so glad that I could go. It didn't end in friendly manners, but I'm just so happy and so relieved that even though I don't have income now, but I don't have this psychological stress now anymore, and I can relax now. And it was such a burden for me. So this is really a great success for me to be able to relax again.
I'm glad you're gone too.
Thank you.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
we're very happy
Yes.
for you.
Yes, and something that I wish was done better for me is that I would have like spoken to them earlier, to the company. So whenever something happens in the future where I think someone acts unfair in regards to me, I want to speak up earlier or more quick to raise the issue up front, so it doesn't get as bad as it became. And I think this is a thing I need to work on, to not put myself like on a lower level, but to say I'm also worthy, and I am worthy enough that you speak to me and you respect me as a person. I still struggle with that, to force like respect from people who don't respect me. Yes, this is something I will work on, definitely. Is also how it could have been better. Just speak up to the people, maybe get some support about the issues, and just speak up. And then actually, the last thing on the agenda is something you could help me with. I don't think that there is currently something that you could help me, but I really enjoy having the conversations in the co-working space. And before, I never thought I would enjoy that. Also, like hopping on conversations like all day long. As an introvert, I always thought I can't have or human interactions for such a long time. And I realized that it's really easy to talk to you all, and I enjoy it, and it helps me to find another side on me which really likes it to interact with people. So thank you for that.
Always here for you. So how can we be helpful for you in this coming week?
I don't know if there's something that you as a community could be helpful for. I just need to do some tasks that I set for myself, like looking for a new job that is good. I already found it, I think, and I need to apply for it and see if it works. Otherwise, just be there, be friendly in our conversations, and connect with me. It will be helpful for me.
Awesome. One thing I also wanted to highlight about Rebecca is that she is actually one of the big driving forces behind revitalizing our language learning space. Actually, it was a very interesting interaction. Was it the Christmas Weekly Council meeting that happened? It was, right?
Where I was very annoyed about messages. This is the Christmas meeting.
I think it was that where Travis was saying like something that he wanted help with was with learning German. Rebecca was like, I actually am a language learning teacher and I teach German. And then all of a sudden like connections just happened. And then it's actually, I'm going to be calling that the origin story of our language learning revitalization.
I think it is.
Yeah, and basically from then on, I think you guys have seen them both practice in the co-working channels. We now have a new polyglotting together channel, so that's like a specific channel for learning languages together. Anyways, we'll be sharing a lot more details on how Rebecca's going to be sharing the language learning initiative and how everyone can get involved as well. So if you guys have a chance, do let us know which languages you want to learn. Right now we have Spanish, Japanese, and German ready, or at least not ready, but like we're recruiting for those. So if you want to learn any of those languages, just let us know. There's a document that I'll link later on for you guys to just snag the tag for yourself or the badge for yourself, and you'll have it showcased. Anyway, just wanted to highlight that because she's awesome.
Thank you.
Cool.
I'm really happy for when we launch and revitalize language learning, because I think it can give a lot to the community in terms of connecting and expanding the mindsets and exploring new cultures and all of this. So really happy to see how it will be growing.
Awesome. Rebecca, would you like to pass it on?
Yeah. Travis, how about you?
Hey, I think this is the first council meeting where I can confidently say that all of you already know me except for maybe Cass. So, Travis, I've been in Co-x3 for like, I guess a little bit now. This is like kind of cool that I've been here for a while.
You're OG.
I'm OG. I'm a teacher in the Bronx. I am a business owner as well, and I'm starting a nonprofit with my fiance Jamie and a team of other music teachers to work towards sustainable music education and other like social justice initiatives, like feeding people who need it and providing a whole bunch of other stuff like that. So that's pretty much how I spend most of my days. Other than that, trying to learn languages and better myself in a whole bunch of other ways. So yeah, I've been trying to be consistent with being productive in my sleep schedule, but also like getting up in the morning when people like Flo and Rebecca, it's like the middle of their day in Germany, so that I can like be lucky enough to be able to like practice with them and have conversations with them. So I say my war has been balancing getting up between 5 and 7 and getting to the computer to do that, but then getting an adequate amount of sleep, which if you've been here before, you know I struggle with getting adequate amounts of sleep. But my win and why I'm so energized, 7 hours and 48 minutes, y'all.
Yeah.
7 hours, 48 minutes. Now, it's probably not going to happen again for at least 6 months, but
Never say never.
Never know. No, it'll happen. It'll happen. But typically, I only need about 5 hours. But I guess I was probably burnt out, which Brian, I know, and Conrad and Nate, you've seen me and even responded to on these meetings, and I'm like, I can't do it. But yeah, honestly, I think that my war has been just this whole sleep thing, and then finding people to help me with the language database, which we already really talked about. And so that's been really good. Talking with Rebecca has been good. Talking with Flo has really been good as well because there's like it's really awesome the synergy that's here. The connections that like we can make, like where I'm a musician and Brian's a songwriter, and I want to learn German, and Rebecca teaches German, and I want to learn Spanish. So it's like, oh, I'm a German who also knows Spanish, and I'm a musician as well, right? So it's like there's just like really cool stuff happening here. I'm here if y'all need something, but to be honest, I feel it's like all my needs are being met at the moment. So I'm all good, Conrad. Yeah, let's pass it to Brian.
All right.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Okay, so I'm still half asleep. I'm still half asleep.
That's your alarm rings. Yep.
Yeah. One of my main goals was to make it this week. I didn't make it last week, and I've never been so annoyed that I didn't make something. So I tasked that off. For those who don't know, I'm Brian. I'm a visual graphic designer in the music industry, specializing in advertisement, and also a songwriter, probably eventually fucking producer if I can learn how to use a computer. And what I get out of the community is I was reflecting on this actually last night. I was really lit last night for the fight. It was an amazing fight. And I was thinking about, like, I've been on Co-x3 for a little minute all throughout the week, and I don't know, it feels way better to know that, like, anytime I get on here, someone's working, so it's always a good influence of, like, no, I don't have everyone just chilling around me. I have, like, people working, which in my experience, I have problems, like, not working, not want to work hard. My whole culture is like roule bon temps kind of lifestyle, which means like just, it's chill. It's chill. It's like the entirety of New Orleans, the Big Easy. That's extends all across Louisiana. That's why people who make it leave Louisiana.
I think it's a theme of the council meeting, is it?
I'll solve this guy. Don't worry. It'll be solved. I promise. I promise.
Brian, it's time to leave Louisiana.
These are a profit kind of message.
Something funny that happened is one of the girls that I was dating in, like, when I was living in Lafayette, like 2 years ago, I told her that I was gonna leave and go to Brooklyn. Okay, I was dead set on going to Brooklyn. I'm still kind of dead set on going to Brooklyn, but it's just, I guess, no, I'm not dead set on going. The reality has hit me like a ton of bricks. And, like, no, I don't want to be poor in Brooklyn. There's a difference. I can go for sure. I just don't want to be poor. So, and I looked on Instagram, and she left for fashion design, a school in fashion design yesterday, and she got her plane ticket. She's already in New York. I'm like, damn. I feel some type of way about that, but this past week has been very, very productive. I ended up finding a mentor for my graphic design work because Lord knows I need it. I need someone that knows what they're doing, so they show me, like, what am I missing. It's not the experience that. It's not the knowledge that I don't need. It's it's experience, because it's like I can find out all the answers I need on the internet, but putting them to use, it's a little different. It's very different, in fact. It's the difference between knowing how to throw a baseball and actually going outside and throwing a baseball. And I don't have any set weekly objectives. I mean, today I'm going to be with my mentor and figure out what I'm going to do in a week, and pretty much hustle. Damn, I need to make a list. I need to make a list of things I need to do. This is a big problem. I don't have enough exact tasks to get done. It's either I have a shit ton or I have nothing at all. What you can help with in the community, what I can get is y'all show up. What y'all can get out of it is I'll show up. Congratulations. You've been blessed. I think that's pretty much it. That's my weekly war.
Yeah, Dale wants to speak. I see Dale had her hand up.
Yes, Dale.
No, I don't. I was just trying to raise my virtual hands up.
Oh, okay.
Like it was like hands in the air.
Got it. Actually, one quick thing. There's a meaningful discussion that can be had here, and this is one I actually had today during dinner, and it was so interesting. So hear me out. Brian, you said that when you missed last week's meeting, you felt annoyed. Annoyance was the feeling you felt. Okay, very interesting. Yes. So the discussion that we were having was that, everyone has a default feeling that they use to help stimulate them to do something different about it. And that's basically what emotions are anyway, right? Feelings are there to help you make change. And the discussion basically started because one of our friends, we had a book club today, and one of our friends that showed up, he was sharing that his default feeling to make change happen in his life is anger. He uses anger, and he's actually from Slovakia, so it's very interesting. Maybe it was a European kind of influence there, right? And he says it himself, like maybe it's just a European side of me that kind of like, you have to be strong, so anger is the way you deal with everything. I don't know. It was just interesting. But the whole point was that like if he was late for the bus, right, and he then ended up being late to work, he would use anger to stimulate him that he's angry at himself, or he wouldn't do that again. And then I had another friend at the dinner, and basically he was sharing that actually I would go through all the 9 stages of grief, like you go through like sadness, and then anger, and then resignation, and like just all the different stages, and then finally he processes, and then he'll make a change. And then for me, I was thinking like, I'll feel disappointment. Disappointment is probably what I'll feel, disappointed at myself, and then disappointment will probably get me to change. So I'm just curious, does that make sense to you guys in terms of like that concepts of like having like a default feeling that you would go to inspire change when something like that happens, like you're late or you miss something?
Yes, totally. Yeah. Mine's is more often guilt.
Okay.
Guilt of not reaching like the idealized potential that I believe I have, or either guilt of like thinking that I have a potential to reach. Either way, it's guilt. And so I don't really have a response to deal with it though. So maybe that's something. I'm good at bringing my emotions to the present, or at least practicing bringing it to the present, because if you hide in all your emotions, you hide in all the guilt, hide in how mad or how guilty you felt because you missed something that you set out to go do, then it stays bottled up. But if you recognize it, acknowledge it, and say, yes, I, Brian, missed the council meeting. I'm mad about it. I feel mad about it right now. Then you're mad about it in the time space of Sunday at 8:53 a.m. And then eventually the like water coming out of the tap, I mean, you might be mad about it later, but it exists in a present moment. And as we move towards the future, present moment goes away, and that feeling also goes away because you acknowledged it instead of hiding it, in the back of your mind.
Yeah. I was going to respond to that, Connor. It's kind of prompt in a sense that like I read part of a book, and I heard this researcher on like a podcast I was listening to, but there's a theory on emotion by her name's Lisa Barrett, but it's the book is called How Emotions Are Made. And okay, Conrad's read it or heard of it, and it's a new theory on emotion, because in psychology, which I have a background in psychology, they teach that everyone has, like, the classic study is that we all have a similar sense of what happy and sad is, like it's the same across cultures. But this new research is really showing that, like, maybe that's not true, and maybe that we actually develop emotion like differently depending on, like, the stimuli that we have in our environment, and then and like we all kind of have, there's just like interesting cases across the world where people have never experienced a certain kind of anger before, maybe at a certain thing, and they just have never experienced it, and so it's like their brain comes in contact with new stimuli, and then the emotion that your brain kind of has to figure out how to make sense of the feelings in your body. So it's like, I don't know, it's really interesting, but it kind of, that research particularly helped kind of open my mind to, well, maybe I have more control over my emotional process than I thought, or maybe it's more influenceable than I thought, so I don't know. That's kind of, I just always like to throw that book, reminded me of that book. Yeah.
That's super interesting.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes, like, certain mental disorders possible too, like borderline personality disorder, and just the emotional deregulation of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's other factors too for personality disorder.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I have it, so I understand.
Yeah.
Emotional regulation, dysregulation, story of my life. Actually, I didn't include that one. I take mood stabilizers along with Vyvanse, which is for ADHD. And the mood stabilizers helps me because I'm a moody bitch. I go from highs of wanting to do everything, wanting to do unrealistic stuff, to lows of just feeling a sad boy on my couch and sleeping in. And recently I tried an upgraded dosage. It's not even like normal. I'm kind of being a little test guinea pig right now, and I know he's doing that, and I was like, I'm okay with it. Let's see what happens. But I've been feeling so freaking weird all week. Like, I don't know if I'm high. I used to be able to tell if I'm high or low because, like, some key things, and now everything is like up in the air. I don't know if this is how normal people are supposed to feel, but I don't know about it. I can't even describe it. It's like wanting to do so much, but also wanting to just not do anything at the same time. It's weird.
I feel like it's important to know that, like, normal is so sorry, I just don't want my connection to drop out. Normal is so subjective.
Yeah. I don't like neurotypical.
What is normal really? Like, I just accept that I'm weird, and that's my normal. Like,
Travis is just weird.
Weird. Like, it's for me, like, it's so freeing when you stop trying to be normal or be whatever the expectation is for like that's put on you by your environment or the people around you, right? I mean, even like Conrad, we talked about this, and I'm glad that we're like having this conversation. We talked about how you wish you could understand how other people process different emotions, right? Like, and you were kind of giving me your idea as far as why you want to go to med school, and like you had said to me, you were angry that day. I didn't even know, and I thought, great, because that means I'm literally changing my physiological responses as far as how I'm angry. But then I thought that's probably because we're in quarantine and I'm not in school. When I had to process anger and I was around angry teachers, that was like yelling and like blood pressure being high. When I'm here and I'm behind the screen, it's super duper internalized, where it may be actually disappointment, or it may be that I'm just I can feel my face filled with blood. Right, like that, because and it could be. I mean, sometimes anger isn't really a pure emotion, right, Conrad? Like, I think that when I said, when we spoke and I was angry, maybe I was embarrassed because my signal was bad, or because we were having studio problems that day, and that was mixed with maybe anger with myself because of those things. So does normal really exist? I don't know. I feel like that's really hard. That's so subjective. I try not to try not to be normal. It's
I have
easy.
actually in my self improvement, self mastery goal. I broke it down to my key result, and my key result is I have a tracker of value given, conversations, and authenticity. How like more Brian do I feel? And I have a repeating problem of like feeling like, okay, I'm not meeting my potential. Then what is meeting my potential, and why do I feel like I'm not hitting it? And the most basic metric I have is just 1 out of 10. How authentic? I can't fucking speak. How real do I feel in each day? The goal, the key result I'm looking for is just an average of over 6 out of 10 during the week. But I just wrote down, goddamn, like all the things I could do to be more authentic. Like, yeah, if I'm a musician, then I need to play music. There's no excuse. It makes me feel good. There's too many good things about it. I need to dress nice. I've always been like, well, when I'm from the bayou, it's racky shirts and shorts, and I think that's kind of always been my little rebellion from it. It's like, no, I'm gonna dress like a businessman, like fashionable. And it's those little markers that I track to try to aim towards being more authentic. I only have done it for like 2 weeks now, and I'm still like, one of the things I gotta get done today is really break down that project into, maybe 10 projects need to be start to finish, like exact. Like there is a 10 out of 10 thing you need to complete because your project is a best attempt at hitting your key result. So that's what I've been trying to practice, trying to get down. I've had a lot of trouble with success plan and doing that, but being more authentic is definitely something I'm actively trying to do. I think that's it for me though, for my weekly war. I want to pass it on to someone.
Go ahead.
We're gonna go Nate.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Nate. I'm from the Pacific Northwest here in the United States, and my career wise, I went to school for psychology and digital marketing, so it's kind of why I'm looking for jobs in that area. I'm on the job search right now. Let's see here. So for this week was an interesting one because this was my last week with my girlfriend staying here. My girlfriend's long distance. She goes to school. Actually, I should say she just finished school in Ohio. She's she just earned her master's degree. Just really cool. And so we don't get to see each other all the time. So I kind of spent this week making sure I prioritized our time. But that being said, I kind of have been ramping up. I knew she was leaving on Saturday. So I've kind of realized that, this time was good, but it's important for me to get back to doing job searching more seriously. And also just, recognize like the goals that I have for this coming quarter and just really like trying to figure stuff out on that end. So yesterday, after I took her to the airport, I did a lot of much needed tweaks in some of my Notion areas, and I kind of added a timeline for projects. So I lined up the projects that I'm working on, and I tried to give a lot of action steps to some of those projects. That's been a weakness of mine in the past, is kind of not having good starting areas for things I'm trying to do. So that was good. I think also the real win though is my friend for my birthday this year, birthday/Christmas, because my Christmas birthday around Christmas. He got me a weight set and a bench, and this is a friend of mine that I would go like in 2019 we worked out together as workout partners. And so I got really good shape, and then quarantine happened and I stopped lifting weights. I had to revert to body weight, which body weight's fine, but I realized after working out this week with him that lifting weights was like something I looked forward to in my workouts, and it made all the other stuff like worth it because like I like the way I feel when I'm lifting weights. So that was my win this week, was getting back to working out with weights again. And I'm really sore, but a good sore. So that it's like hard to describe, but it's like, I don't know, it really felt good to get back into it. And so I'm looking forward to that being a more common thing again. And just and it's just in my garage, so I don't even have to go even less far than I used to at the gym. So that was a win, for sure. And in terms of what I could have done better, probably just same stuff that I've kind of been working on, just making steady time, time, like working on Pomodoro like technique kind of stuff, like where I actually time block work sessions. I want to be more consistent going forward with the same times that I work on stuff, and just really commit to it, and give time. I've been kind of I'm working on various things, like getting some of my habits in line, but that's the other thing, is like realizing that like some goals, like my goals database, are going to be pushed through projects, and some are going to be pushed through habits. So I've been trying to like figure out like what are some key habits that I should start incorporating in this week. So I'm maybe that's an interesting thing to hear from people, like what are some habits that you're working on, or you've had some success starting recently, if there's any new habits that anyone has. And yeah, I think that's where I want to go this morning.
That's awesome. I just wanted to, there's a lot of things I think everyone can talk about this, because we're in week 3 and we just talked about habits this week, so that's perfect. But just from my perspective, like, so when I was going through like my habits that I wanted to do, I built a workflow manager for myself. Like, what's the different workflows that I want in my life that are going to help me level up in different parts of it, right? And that was super helpful for me to determine which kind of habits I needed, which were daily things I needed to do, which were weekly things I needed to do, which were, even monthly things I needed to do, and stuff like that. It was really helpful for me. So maybe that's something you can consider as well. Just mapping out like all the things that are important for you in your life, and then figuring out how you can make those repeatable actions.
Yeah, I like that.
Awesome. I was thinking Flo might have something to say about this. Flo, how's your daily quest going?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I thought I had some mic issues, because I wanted to weigh in on Brian quite quickly before as well. I don't have a background in psychology, which would be awesome, like Nate has, but I'm a fellow bipolar dude, you could say. I suffered from psychosis, and I also went through psychotherapy, and I would say I know what it's like to find the right configuration medicine-wise for yourself, and it's quite a tough period, right? I mean, you need to adapt with medicine, find a new standard feeling, and find what's right. And you said what's normal, right? And Travis had made a very good point about it. But what a really good tool is, just a value bomb I wanted to drop, maybe I learned in therapy, try to get really conscious about how other people react to you, right? Like for me, I suffered from psychosis. I started acting weird and didn't quite get it, that I'm acting weird. And after therapy, I just got more tuned to when this might happen, when my colleagues that I speak with might react in a weird way, That was also an indicator for me that I might be off track, and I had a step back, and I could get it in control very well now. So I'm lucky to say I found a good medical support, and I hope you find it as well, man, and I hope to see you again talking about it and come onto a good track, because I think we all struggle, but when you can get more confident and just easygoing, maybe like Travis, just being happy with yourself, however it is, man, it's a very good way and it's very achievable. So I think you're on good track, and we'll just keep talking. Anyway, habits. Maybe Nate, you could incorporate a morning run / morning workout before breakfast. I just was very lazy the last few months. I have this key result, or maybe it's a goal even, being a sporty dude again, right? Because I used to be quite sporty, and now I'm more like an average kind of dude after not doing much in quarantine. And now I'm quite happy also as a weekly win to be doing a morning run before breakfast at least 3 times this week. But I figured out I can't really do it every day, even though it's short, because it's just you're a bit sore. So maybe you might do one day a run and the next day weightlifting, now that you have the equipment, just as something to get you started. I feel like it's very effective before the breakfast, for me at least, especially the run. So this would be my main win and also my main suggestion, habit-wise, for you.
Yeah, I like
Hi,
that.
guys.
Good reminder.
Hey.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hey.
Wow, so many people.
She's like, oh, must leave. Welcome. Awesome. Sorry, you guys are going on. Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of. Is there? I didn't see more questions. I could talk about my plan, but I don't know if it's to the point.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I mean, does anyone have any other like habit comments? Otherwise, I'm happy to kick it over. Like,
have you looked at Atomic Habits, Nate? I feel like I don't care.
Oh yeah. That's my number one like recommended book I give to people. Like I want to actually I have it on audiobook. I love it because James Clear narrates it, and I should start listening to that a little bit this week. You know, because I really felt really good when I read that book at first, and so that's always my basis for anything. So.
Yeah, like a new stack that I guess I tried with the whole language learning was like after I played with Chance, right? Sit down in studio, get to Co-x3. What I do afterwards, like sometimes I make it to language learning. Other times I don't even make it to like the co-stream, right? Like those mornings where you maybe see me on, but I'm not there. It's like I did my habit, but then I'm like on the piano or I'm doing something.
Yeah.
And then the next level of the stack will actually be, all right, now practice language. Like, I think Rebecca called me the other day. She's like, Travis, did you learn anything? And I was like, hey, I'm here. Wait a second.
Right.
Right. But that was because that was just like my minute, like the
It's
baby
like
steps.
Yeah, baby step. Yeah, that's kind of what we did this week too with working out. We just like had it really, we didn't focus on how much weight we were doing, just the exercises themselves, getting comfortable doing them, form wise or whatever. So yeah, that's a good suggestion, because that's definitely where I need to be at. It's just kind of especially if I've not had a habit, like I'm just like starting it flat, I definitely need to just like what the bare minimum, like littlest possible, just to kind of get the foundation underneath me before I really start ramping up, because otherwise I'll quit. I don't want to quit, so yeah.
And honestly, always run these things. I like running it by Conrad, because like sometimes it gives you value bombs, you don't know it. So like the one thing that he gave me was like, just show up.
Yeah.
I didn't realize what just showing up meant for like this whole language learning thing. Like I was just trying to do it for myself, because I was using that anger with myself as like a motivator. Then, like all of a sudden now we have all these meaningful conversations, and we're getting this thing done. So maybe asking yourself, where can you show up, or like running it by Conrad, even like on a separate meeting, whenever the man has time. But sometimes you get like inspired by just little bits or little nuggets of success.
For sure. Yeah. No, that's definitely all valuable. Very valuable. Appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much what I got this morning. I mean, that's very helpful. Everyone's been helpful. So, without further ado, I think I'll kick it to Flo.
Go ahead, Flo.
Thanks. So I'm on the book, so that I don't miss out stuff. The questions are your weekly wins, right?
Yes.
This would be interesting. We were talking in course about the habits, as you said, and I set up a routine which helped me get to a important project for me. I called Easy Cardio Comeback, which is, as we just talked about, I was lazy and I just got from sporty to average kind of, and now I did small things like 3 runs this week, which I'm very happy about. So this is actually a habit thing. I had some tasks like run at least once for 5 kilometers, and I did it. So that was cool.
Nice.
And thanks. Now that I did a few things, I have larger goals for February. And next week I'll just slowly build up to it, and eventually I want to run at least every second day for this distance in February. This would be awesome. So what I didn't quite succeed, or which I wrote into Don't Make the Same Mistake Twice, was that I shouldn't sabotage myself, even though I know it hurts my plans in the future, right? I'm quite happy with starting the success plan, with having my projects and tasks, key results and so on lined up. I'm quite happy with this setup, but I struggle still execution-wise. I did some stuff, but then there were some days I had good portionized tasks, but still didn't do them. And then I got into pressure again. And we talked about that someone here, I think, Conrad, you said it was disappointment for you, sometimes a driver or sometimes a last resort emotion. Brian, you said it was guilt. For me, I get pressure, and even though it makes no sense, right? Emotions sometimes make no sense, but I feel helpless for no reason then. I feel like self-pity, I feel like, yeah. It's so unnecessary. I feel like I don't have the hardest tasks in the world and I should just do it. Still, I often struggle executing. So this is by far my biggest construction site in a personal growth sense. Yeah, something you're interested or something I'm not answering should be addressing here?
No, just keep sharing, and then by the time we get to how we can be helpful, we'll have enough context to be helpful or to learn what you want us to target on in terms of where you want help.
Yeah. Well, basically, to keep it simple, in the next week, it's the last week of university for me. It's it will be lots of tasks I have to work on. So you can help me just by not expecting anything from me really in the community. I'm happy.
You have to let go of your expectations. I meditate on the same problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Let go of your expectations. Let go of the shoulds. There is no shoulds. There only is what you are, and you are what you are.
Yeah. I mean,
I just remembered. Self-reliance, Emerson. Some other. Who was it? Jason the Noob. We had a little meeting where we read self-reliance. Well, I read the self-reliance and reflected on what it meant. And a key point that really pertains to you would be the oak. What makes it? Is an oak tree different from when it's a seed or when it's a full-grown oak? It's still an oak. It just exists in the present. It exists not because they had a tree before it or there will be trees after it. It only is what it is. And that kind of mindset is the problem with men is we obsess over the past or we obsess over the anxiety of the future, and we just don't exist. What's happening with expectations? We want the future to come here because we see what's pretty over the future. We see what could be and not acknowledge what is. And that kind of weight isn't healthy. yeah, that's why I like it. All I do is just say to myself in my affirmations, let go of my expectations, let go of the should, and I just repeat it in my brain until it gets it. But for everyone else is different. So
yeah, but I like it. I mean, it's like a modern classic comes to mind, right? The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I'm sure many of you know it. I also have it here. I'll just reiterate on how it can help me. I'm just
Oh, he disconnected. Okay, this is how you can help me.
Just don't.
Are you still there?
His
Yeah.
network is showing gray, so I don't think so.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's still bad.
We got you. Yes.
No?
Yes.
It's good?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure how you can help me when I'm just stuck in a plan with specific work to my education, right? I have like many tasks I need to execute, portfolio work, just write stuff for university, and I'm not following up on these plans. So this is really my main concern. So I'm really eager to be work free in this regard by mid-February. I have many tasks in the next few weeks, and it would be awesome to be done in February. There is no university, and I would be completely free for 2 weeks if I can accomplish my plan to finish everything until mid of February, right?
Is there anything that we could support you in accomplishing the plan? I was thinking of maybe if you struggle with executing your task, an accountability partner or something like this. Is there anything we could help you?
Yeah, I mean, maybe I can make it. I think they're in the afternoon for our time, Rebecca, right?
3 p.m. Yeah.
So I'll definitely check them out if I have a chance. And still, just by reflecting here with you guys, I'm already getting a bit fueled. I feel like I'm benefiting from this exchange, and when I said I expect you not to expect anything from me, as I meant it quite jokingly, right? So I know that this community is very intrinsically driven. It's like many people here are passionate, and I'm also quite liking coming here, talking here, and just have smaller contributions. And in the future, I want to contribute even more. Conrad and me I found out talking with Conrad that there was a podcast that maybe could go active again, which would be really an awesome dream to do radio in the future, maybe. Well, this is not specifically for next week, so I'll just stop.
If you want to accelerate a timeline that fast, I mean, buddy.
One war at a time, right?
Exactly. I'm all over the podcast.
If you ever need additional accountability, you can always just pop on the co-stream. I was on there yesterday for 7 hours coding.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
Because I've been putting it off, and I'm like, you know what, I just need to do it. And I had it on my desktop all day, but I didn't touch it until I actually got on the stream. So
that's awesome. I'll consider that, and I'll be online as well. You're Cat on the server, right? Cat.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, awesome.
And actually, just to add on to that, because I think there's a lot of value in just making that point come at this point live, is that I think self-sabotage is something that we all deal with. I don't think it's unique to you. So that's the first thing. You're not alone in this. We all have important things we want to accomplish in life, and somehow we're the only thing stopping us from doing it. And I think a really great way, like everyone suggested, is the whole idea of multiplayer, right? You're not the only one in this. You can get an accountability buddy, someone to tell you that, hey, you know, why aren't you doing this? You can come on to the co-working session, say this is what I'm going to get done today, and start doing it, right? You don't have to show your screen, you don't have to show your face, but just the fact of like going on and like just being in the voice channel already makes you feel like you want to do something. And for me, that's extremely valuable. And so even for myself, that helps me. So hopefully it helps you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Conrad. Thanks, everybody. And just a point, it's an intriguing idea to have an accountability buddy here, since you don't meet many people. Or in my case, I moved back to my parents' house temporarily because in the city where I study, there's nothing going on, and you don't want your parents as accountability buddies. You know, it's getting old.
Makes sense. All right, Flo, please pass it on and choose someone.
Let's have a look. Maybe Deo could follow me up.
Okay. Okay. So, what is something I succeeded this week? Oh, sorry, 1 second. First off, design. So we published that. So I was very happy about that, to finish it after going back and forth within the group. And then I started my writing prompt for my short story. So that is something that I succeeded in starting and working on that. What is something I wish I'd done better? So throughout this week, especially with the course and all that, it helped with kind of keeping up. So I was very happy about that. I wished that I managed my time more. It was really good, like compared to last week, but I wish to like manage it more. But I was happy with the way things turned out this week. Also, what do you think? What do I think I would have done better? Same thing. I think my time and just managing things better. What do I need help with specifically? So yesterday, I was so happy, like working on my book with Cass, like the screen and all. So it actually helped to say, oh, okay, I need to rest. But then putting my screen on, I'm like, okay, I have to keep working on this. And then it was very helpful. I was really happy about it. So I started getting into the storyline of my short book. So I'm very happy about that. I still need to keep going. But that is something that I found really helpful. But yeah.
Sorry, what specifically you found helpful? I missed a little bit of that.
Okay. So I started writing. I have a little bit of tasks to do. So one of them was writing a short story. So yesterday I started, and I was on the stream with Cass because she was coding. I'm like, oh, that's really good, because I also have a bit of kind of things to do in line with that. But just seeing her like sharing her screen, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna share my screen too, so that even though I feel like resting or taking a break, at least my screen is showing that I'm working, so I can like escape from it. So
Exactly.
yeah, that was really helpful. I really liked that. So that is something that she helped me with. But yeah, so hopefully that is something. Whenever I need to do that, I'll just show my screen and work on my tasks. So yeah.
Amazing. So basically the way we can be helpful is to do more co-working streams and just show up for the streams when you start streaming.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I wanted to rage quit a few times, and I didn't, because I'm like, no, Dale's right here. She's sharing her screen too. Let's just push through.
Power through. Awesome. And one more thing I'll say for you, if you want to help Dale, is check out her Zine. I'll send a Twitter link for it so you guys can see and support like a tweet about it. But anyway, Dale, please pass it on.
I'll pass it on to Who hasn't spoken?
Vero
yet?
hasn't gone yet.
Veronica.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. That's
Hi,
me.
Veronica.
Hi. Okay, so last week I did a lot of cooking. Well, it was not a lot objectively, but it was a lot more than I'm used to. Like we had home cooked stuff almost every day, I think. So that's nice. Definitely progress there. I worked some on the armor. I managed to clean out several hundred gigabytes of data from my external disks, so that was very useful immediately.
Nice.
I continue to making bringing order to my media. Since it's sort of like I'm on the roll, so I'm now have motivation to actually like do the other formats too. So that's nice for me personally, not necessarily useful for anybody else, but I'm counting it. Oh yeah, I caught up with the community and moved with some stuff. I managed to get a hold of CB, and he's now in Guilded, but said he doesn't have time to play right now, so I'll still need to like follow up on that. And yeah, yeah, that's about it. What I haven't done or could have done better is I didn't spend that much time on the medical stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Conrad.
No.
But I am setting a hard deadline like by Friday, so I will definitely get back to you on that at least. Actually, let's say I'll get back to you on it on Wednesday so that we can do something about it if we want to. Okay.
Sounds good. And by the way, for everyone's reference, and also to help motivate you, Veronica, so Veronica had an awesome idea to create like a database to track all your doctor visits, as well as, you know, the different symptoms they diagnosed you with, whatever prescription that they gave you. And so basically when you have like a same symptom again, you might not even need to go to the doctor. You can already, you know, self-diagnose in a way. Obviously don't do that. You should see a doctor, but like at least in some way you can see your history as well, your medical history. I mean, I think it's also more important having it yourself.
Yeah. And like to keep track of your doctors also, to see if you are having some problems with them and if they repeat, so you can sort of notice when it's time to find a new one, and if they told you to do something, to write it down somewhere so that you cannot forget that you should be doing it, you know, things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, by Wednesday.
Awesome.
Right.
And if you guys want, and if anybody wants to get involved in that could be fun. I don't think we're going to be doing a live stream just because it'll be like 3 a.m. But we're probably going to record our session when we build it and then just upload it as a video. So if you want to show up in one of our videos, just let us know, and you can join us.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like the stream that you do on Friday, except it's not that because it's in the middle of the night for me, but like that.
Yeah, like that. So if you ever watch like the theme library video, basically like that, where I think that one I was doing with Vero, it was a cute one.
Okay. And yeah, just continue working on the armor. Probably actually write down. I want to do like a brain dump of all the things that I need to do, because I have let it slip, like written things down, you know, again. So that will be thing that I'm going to do next week, and get in contact with my boss to see if there was any update on work.
How can we be helpful?
Keep me accountable for the medical stuff by Wednesday, please.
Okay, I will keep you accountable.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't think there is anything really. Oh wait, I forgot to say that I did upload the emojis. That's actually a pin, isn't it?
Yes. So yeah, explain the emojis. Yeah.
Okay, so Guilded server has a lot of custom emojis. Go check it out if you haven't yet. You can make your posts more personal that way. And if you have any that you want me to add, just let me know. there are like emoji packs of various anime or other popular characters and lots of cats because many of us love cats, including me. So yeah, go have fun with it.
What anime is your kitty from?
There is One Piece, there is Pokemon.
Oh, your cat. Where anime is your
Freaking
cat
knew
from?
it.
Oh, my
Oh.
cat.
Yeah.
She's Sweet Home. We don't have that pack sadly because it doesn't exist. But we do have other cats. This Cheese Sweet Home is like an anime with like lots, like hundreds of very short episodes that are all very cute.
Oh, I did.
Awesome. Okay, well, Vero, if that's the way we can be helpful for you, we can do that. And please pass it on. I think it's back to our newcomers, so you can pass it on. Oh. This is getting worse, isn't it? It really is just getting worse. We need I need to upgrade the server. Okay, it's a sign. I will do it. I promise. I promise to update the server.
I like the sound of everyone joining.
Bloop, 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 bloop,
The internet.
It's the internet.
Conrad, did you get your emails done? Templates?
I didn't get all of it done. I'm gonna finish it after this call, but I got the structure of it down and I drafted
What's the
out like
percentage?
100 emails.
Hello.
Hi, Vero. Okay, I was just gonna say you can pass it back on to Cass. Yep, Cass.
Okay. Then Cass, please go.
Sorry,
on.
I'm having issues. One of the views is not populating my success plan week wins. But oh, just for your reference, Conrad, that's in the weekly review back-end view.
Oh, okay. I can help you after this call. But yeah,
Okay.
go ahead with your weekly war first.
Mostly I've just been trying to learn Swahili, so I've been practicing that all week and investing myself in coding and trying to just make sure that I'm at the very least, coding an hour every day. I don't see why that would not be attainable.
Yeah, that's
Or
that's
things
about
that
it.
you're struggling with this week.
Oh, what I'm struggling with? Nothing so far this week.
Okay.
So far.
So then you've
feel
been
like
winning and everything else. So what's your wins?
Yeah, so I've practiced 30 minutes of Swahili every day.
Mhm.
I have been doing now. Okay, well, coding was not successful except for yesterday, but that was a huge win because that was 7 hours of work. So I'm going to consider that my hour for the week.
Amazing.
checks out.
Checks out. Yeah. That's about it. I'm going to school. I've done all of my assignments. So far, I feel like I've just had like that first week high of just being able to get everything done, and slowly it'll start falling apart. So
Yeah.
we'll wait. Give me another week, and I'll have a lot of things I need help with.
I think the first thing we might be able to help with is maybe breaking that prophecy. We don't want that to come true. We know that there's a potential for that to happen, but we should remain optimistic, curiously optimistic that won't happen.
What
Okay, that's my issue. I have a very self-defeatist attitude.
what time would you be able to like consistently go on a co-stream to get your hour of coding?
Because I only have all of my classes are in the morning, so any time after noon Mountain Standard.
You just pick a time to come on co-stream, and then we'll like I know I can just come on and like bullshit or do some work. At least holding you accountable. At least for an hour. It only takes an hour.
2 o'clock. Okay, so 2 o'clock CST, right? CST?
No,
MST. Okay.
MST.
MST. She'll come on, and then that'll be her time. That's awesome. We can set. Oh my gosh, I want to create GuildedBot so badly because I can make a GuildedBot send like an automated message like, "Cass, it's time to come to co-working."
That would be great.
One question, Cass. What time is it right now for you? So I know like the time difference.
It's 8:39 in the morning.
8:39. So 2 p.m.
Quick math. Go.
5 hours later. Okay. It's late evening for me, but maybe I will make it to join you. So to hold you accountable to your coding.
You said 2 o'clock?
Or it can be 1. I mean, it can be any time after 12:15. That's
it's 2 o'clock. I can show.
Awesome.
That means it would be 3 o'clock for me.
Cool.
Yeah.
A funny thing, on coding, when I went to design school, I'm still in design school. I haven't finished. But my first semester, just to showcase how like they're not very organized for the program, and I accidentally took my first semester advanced coding, making websites and all. And I have no clue about anything about having anything on HTML, CSS. First week, it was a whole refresher course. It was, from what I understand, I didn't know at the time. I didn't know the whole semester, in fact. No one told me anything. I only found out the second semester when I took the required beginners. And I was like, Miss Brea, when are we gonna start making our websites? Because it was confusing. It's like, we're going through all the basics again. It's like, what are you talking about? It's like, I took this class last semester. It's like, you took the senior level coding design class.
Awesome, you just threw yourself into it.
Yeah, they just let me in. And, I just like, because it was the expectations of the class, I made my own website. I mean, there's a little appeal to it. Like, I like the creative side of like finding it, all kinds of like, it was HTML, CSS. I don't think we went to like the newest version or something like that. So it may not have been the most advanced design class, but I was definitely making my own websites. And there's a certain little appeal to it. It's like, it's a little cool doing all the coding stuff.
I want to just translate that into like another meaningful conversation here because I think it's very interesting. The idea of like maybe Cass, you can say it in your own words, but you're mentioning that you have a self-defeating kind of mentality there. And I like what Brian just said actually, because sometimes the expectations that are placed on you end up helping you like step beyond what you think you could have achieved, and that's exactly what happened to him. He ended up building an awesome website, I'm sure. Accidentally, right? And
it was funny.
I do actually want to maybe bring it around the table and kind of see like how everyone deals with that kind of again, self-sabotage seems to be like a really cool theme today, and maybe that's something that we can meaningfully discuss and see what solutions there are to that. Anybody have any thoughts they want to start us off with?
Mine is imposter syndrome, so it's like I don't know if I should be doing this. Like, am I really like, is this really like part of me, or should I be doing this? So that is something I kind of struggle with, that sometimes I'm not good enough and stuff like that. So that mindset can actually kind of push me off a lot, because sometimes I just overthink things, and then when I finally do it, I'm like, I just put it all in. So yeah, kind of I don't know. Yeah.
When it comes to self-sabotage, I always think about like the one-eyed, not self-sabotage, but the imposter syndrome, the one-eyed now he can help a blind person because he sees more. You don't have to see with both eyes or like have the best vision at all. At least if you know or see or whatever a little bit more than the person you want to help out, it's going to help out, and you don't need to feel like you are not worthy of whatever you know, or not worthy to teach whatever you want to teach. As long as there is something you can give, it's okay, because you are the one-eyed person who can teach the blind.
When I was like 16, I was coming home from I went hunting, and I've only been driving for like maybe a month or so. I didn't even have my proper license. I had like the license that says you can drive with an adult in a car. And my dad decided it was a great idea because he was tired at like 6. It was like 5 a.m. when we were on the way back from Baton Rouge, going all the way down to Bayou, and he decided it was a great idea with his standard like freaking manual transmission piece of trash truck. Like, this thing is a death trap. It's way too high. The wheels are way too lifted, so it's just like any sharp turn. And I've only been driving for a little bit. Really haven't. I've maybe just played a little bit with manual transmission, but what made it worse is that this particular truck is a very particular truck. It's not like basic. It's just like you have to really feel the gears. And he just threw me in the driver's seat because he was tired. And I was under so much pressure because I was like, if I crash, we die. And I was like, at that moment, I was like, I kind of made it perfect. I drove perfect all the way down. The next day I tried to do it again and it just didn't work. And I realized like that's just a little part of ongoing theme of like when the expectations are really, really high, I'm usually really good under pressure. Like the stress makes me excel in ways that I just do not really plan or comprehend.
That's a tremendous quality, dude. So many people crack there.
If only I could use it.
Like, how can I apply this to the rest of my life? It seems to be awesome.
I wrote down somewhere that I wanted to like be under that good kind of stress, that calculated stress.
It's called controlled stress. It's actually a very fascinating topic in the sense that basically you're creating your own stress that you can control, and it's something that you can initiate whenever you want and something you can end whenever you want. And obviously there has to be some kind of mental play there, but that's what I like because it's basically hacking your brain. But the whole intention is that you're supposed to be able to, you know, come up with your self-induced stress, maybe through a deadline that isn't real, or maybe through like, you know, some kind of pressure that isn't necessary. So I know some friends of mine, they would, you know, handicap themselves, you know, for something specific. Like if they're an artist, like I'm going to draw this, but I'm going to draw this without looking at references. I'm going to draw this with only one pen. I'm not going to use any more than one pen. You know, I'm going to do this without this. Like, so some kind of self-imposed like restriction, which arguably should make it harder for you to do the thing, but in some way, because they're kind of like you, it makes them actually do more and get things done. So that was just an interesting thing to share.
That's super interesting. That's something I should like make a note to like some kind of way. Maybe there's some kind of sub area tracker I could do to like, how can I make what I'm doing really freaking hard, but like not detrimental hard, just
fun
like
hard.
Fun hard. Yeah, I think that's fun.
Challenge yourself a little bit.
Yeah. But then back to the whole thing. So what I've heard basically for imposter syndrome, and it's essentially the stories you're telling yourself, I feel like. You know, it's
always internal dialogue that screws you up.
Right.
It's I was gonna say, I was on mute this whole time. I didn't realize. My dad always used to tell me growing up that like he did his best work under pressure, and in many cases he would only work under pressure. And like as I've gotten older, I've realized that there's like just this idea of like it's all about perspective. So if your perspective is one way and you and you like perceive that this is the way you have to do it, even if it's like way above and beyond like what everyone else is doing, if your perspective is one way, like you will push yourself, you know. And like I described like human potential, like the best analogy I heard recently, it's like your potential, like imagine it if it's like the ocean, like, you know, we don't know how many buckets does it take to fill the ocean. We don't really know, but like just the idea that, you know, we can give more than we realize, you know. And it's just, yeah, but and I think, yeah, that's the idea of if you add if you are able to kind of like create your own I guess stress and a good, you know, good stress is good because it enables action, but it's like the idea of how you do that, I think, is the question. But I think that, you know, I think there's a lot to be said though about like I work really well when I have a goal that I'm working with, and I think that we all rise to the occasion, but it's just, you know, how we get ourselves there. And, you know, sometimes adding arbitrary restrictions, you know, to our work thing kind of like helps, you know. That's why I wrote poetry in high school, and I used to hate writing poetry form. But like form poetry is really cool because like you end up writing something you would never written if you hadn't written in form. So it's like, you know, thinking about it like that. So it's just perspective shifting, I think. Like if your perspective, you know, if I'm constantly always thinking like, you know, how could I do this differently, you know, or what might change the result. So yeah,
I think a key part of that, key part of helping you reach those huge expectations is the people aspect. Because in all the instances, I can't speak. In every occasion that I like excelled above, there was always someone else like that I had to meet to. So the class, so not killing my family, you know, it's just there's other people involved. So I think having other people to hold you accountable, to be like, no, just reach that impossible goal, reach the not impossible, like realistic, but just super ambitious, and that applied stress. I think if we have other people around it, like, you know, I'm gonna produce a whole freaking song in a week, you know, that kind of mentality.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if this will be helpful for you, Cass, but I do hope it is. But you know, it all starts with intention, meaning that if others know where your intentions come from, then other people can support it. And that, when I say other, I mean also you. Like, you can also think of yourselves in terms of others, right? Like, if you know that there's a goal that you want to chase after, there's this area of life you want to improve in, and, you know, these values you want to keep, I really believe that defining them clearly will help you chase towards that. And if there are truly things that you want, you know, you'll inspire yourself to go after it. And not only that, you'll inspire others to support your journey in going after that. One wish I have for the whole, you know, the whole space with the level up, you know, boot camp, and everyone posting like their areas, their key results, their goals and success plan, daily quest. Like, the whole intention of that actually is, I'm hoping that that starts our ability to support each other in these kind of areas, right? It's like, hey, I know Cass wants to achieve these things in her lives, and it's because I've seen it, right? This connects us on a deeper level that I don't think you normally would have in any, you know, other friendship, right? And then hopefully eventually when the API is all set up and going, that becomes an automatic thing, right? Oh, you know, Cass has a new goal that she's coming up with, and we are all wanting to celebrate that together. And oh, she just finished this goal, and then we can celebrate that. So it keeps you running for the next big thing that you set out for yourself. And I think that process is very rewarding and enjoyable.
Thank you, guys.
Our pleasure.
I can't wait for the API to come out in the next 5 years.
Nice one.
Really?
Here.
Where did Miss Ann go?
Sorry?
Where did Miss Ann go?
Oh, Miss Anna, I think she couldn't make it today, unfortunately. She's has a few things on. Okay, cool. I think I'm the last person. Am I right? Has everyone gone? Gonna get a chance? Okay, I'll keep mine quick. Essentially, man, I had a lot of meaningful conversations this week, and I can't wait to share all of them in some sort of way. I don't know if it's gonna be through a video or a book or an article or, you know, just through the emails or diffusion like this, but it's just been a really good week for reflections and communication in terms of, you know, just understanding the human consciousness better. I think Travis earlier mentioned one thing that was pretty curious, like, you know, in regards to what he was sharing, basically I have a very big goal to understand like human emotions to a T, or at least human behavior to a T. Like that's been a lot of the behavior that's drove me to study like neuroscience and psychology back in medical school, and now I'm planning to go back actually to finish it up. They gave me a 20-year sabbatical when I went to start my business 3 years ago, but basically I'm going back now to hopefully get an MD in order to start a neurotech company in 5 years. I'm looking to basically, if you ever heard of Neuralink by Elon Musk, essentially something similar to that, where you can implant a chip in your brain to download experiences. And the whole idea is that I'm hoping that that is going to help us not only learn faster, because then we can download like languages or something cool like that, and download like how to like technical skills that, you know, maybe takes lifetime to learn, but it becomes instantaneous, but also help us understand each other in a more meaningful way. Like, how do you perceive happiness? How do you perceive the color blue? You know, these are things that we have no idea about, right? Like we believe that everyone has some kind of shared, you know, human pool of emotions, but obviously, as we know now, there's a lot of, you know, research detailing that that might not be the case, right? Culture plays a big part in how we perceive certain things. So how can we better experience each other? So that's something that I've been thinking about a lot. So definitely that's one of my big wins this week, is just getting more, you know, entwined with the space that I'm about to dive into, you know, getting back into the flow of things. I also really enjoyed co-working with a lot of you guys this week. I had a chance to build a lot more of the collaborative pages to make sure that everything's very clear for our community members to understand what the heck we want to do here and how we want to grow, you know, how, you know, the space, it can be a space for you and for whatever initiatives you want to work on. I think one thing I really want to talk about in terms of that is just, I really am just so humbled by the support that we get here for everybody that wants to make this place, you know, their space. And I've said this a lot, obviously, you know, in terms of, you know, how I imagined it, but just seeing it in fruition is, it's just so beautiful, because, you know, the idea is that because we're here and we're setting up, you know, different systems for ourselves to learn, you know, why we want to do things and what do we want to achieve, now we have the opportunity to also help everybody get to where they want to go. Like, I think someone was talking about, you know, how do you mix hobby and passion, right? How do you, like, should I mix hobby and passion? You know, that being the first point, and then how do we mix them? And I think the should is subjective. I think we had a discussion about that, Cass, but the should, I think, you know, in my opinion, I definitely think you should, as long as, oh, actually, I do want to talk about that quickly. So this is very cool. I had a very good conversation with my housemates about that, because I do want to explore this topic. But basically, I think that's the reason why a lot of people make the statement that when the moment you make your hobby your work, you stop enjoying it, is because they've made it into a job. And when I say job, I mean it as like a job where you're working under someone else, so that you don't have control over what you want to accomplish, and you don't have control over all the tasks that may relate to the job in some way, but aren't exactly what you want out of that hobby, right? So my take on it is that if you want to make your hobby your career, make something your own, right? If you love music, if you love coding, if you love whatever you love, design, make your own career out of it. Don't work under anyone else. And I think that's the way that you can make it truly something that you enjoy and something that you keep enjoying, because you can always find out ways to, not to say outsource the rest, but at least focus on what you really care about and keep the direction in the direction that you care about. I think that's something very important. And just in line with that, what I'm hoping to do with the initiatives section of our community, and I can send a link to the chat when you guys, if you guys are curious, but basically we've mapped out all the initiatives that we have in our community, and we're giving everybody a chance to say, hey, I want to either contribute to this one thing because I love this place and I want to help and I think I help in this regard, or I want to intern in this specific area because, you know, I want some relevant experience in this specific topic and I want to learn under someone that is, you know, an expert in this. Or finally, if you're already very well trained and you're some kind of professional, then how can you support that space and hopefully also get some livelihood out of that as well, so we can support you as well. So just, you know, various ways that hopefully we can continuously give back to, you know, the people that support us and vice versa. I think that's something that's amazing. And yeah, I'm really excited for that. So, you know, how can you guys be helpful? Definitely checking out, you know, some of the initiatives that's coming up, seeing if there's anything that's useful for you. Definitely filling out the handbook if you have like insights in there. It's like, you know, I do a lot of knowledge sharing inside the co-working channels, and sometimes that doesn't all get, you know, slotted into the handbooks or into some kind of FAQ, right, for other people to learn from as well. So anything to do with that is super awesome. And of course the quest list, like we just have so many cool things that are coming up to help everybody get involved. I just think it's great. And yeah, for me myself though, one thing that I could do better was definitely just getting the emails updated. Right now, people sign up for some of our systems, they're still getting the old tutorials. That's obviously no good. They get confused. I need to change that. So after this call, I'm gonna go shimmy over and get that done. But yeah, that's about it for me, guys. I don't want to ramble too much, but if you guys had any thoughts about the whole hobby passion thing, feel free to give like a comment or two for like half a minute or a minute. But yeah.
I really like the influence of your work ethic and all that, because you're always fucking working, always, always. There's something that's, I know it's for other people it's not as good, but for me it's good. Or at least in this phase of my life, it is exactly what I need to be doing.
Awesome. Cool, guys. Shall we take a quick picture? Camera's on. Smiles. Rebecca, your face is frozen. Just letting you know.
Okay, let me rejoin very quickly.
Okay. She wasn't frozen for me. That's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, maybe.
Oh, she's been frozen for me forever.
Oh, wow.
I'm trying to rejoin on the laptop, so I also have the camera again.
Sure.
Just a sec.
Okay, Rebecca's live now. Isn't Rebecca's hair so cool? Guys, we have to appreciate her hair more. Like, her hair is like amazing color.
But then I need to show that it's blue underneath. I don't know. You can see it probably,
yeah, I could see
it. Underneath it's blue. I didn't put enough blue there, but it's there.
Yeah, I need to re-dye my hair soon. It's turning yellow again. So that I'm just like, the ash gray just doesn't work. We gotta figure out something better.
I can support you with your color finding journey.
Thank you. We'll do some hex codes. We'll pick out a color wheel. we'll get it there. Awesome. Hey, Flo. Oh my gosh, 2 flows. That's
fine. It'll make our group look bigger.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there's 2 of them.
Legitimately, wow.
I don't even know how that could work.
Wait, Flo, you have 2 of you. You might want to leave one of them.
That's the biggest thing I've ever seen.
And I can hear 2 of you.
Just hang out with one. Just hang out one of them. There you go.
There we go.
Awesome. Okay, guys.
Crazy.
3, 2, 1. All smiles. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining our weekly council meeting. Hope you guys had a good time. Hope you had a meaningful conversation, or felt like you had one. I'm going to hang out in the co-working if you guys want to join me. I'll be there for probably an hour or 2. So feel free to see you guys there. Bye.
Bye, right, guys.
Bye.
Bye.